Okay, this is a brand new Hayward TracVac. Let's disassemble this completely and figure out how this thing is put together. First, this is forward. This is the front of the TracVac. This is the back of the TracVac. To open up the top cover, you would press this button, this blue button here on top towards the back gently. You don't have to death push it. Just kind of push backward. There's a hook right here that catches the top lid. This lid pops forward, comes off, and this will only fit one way. The wider portion, the longer portion is towards the back, and then the shorter portion is towards the front. Another way to look at it is it only fits one way. There are two cutouts on this side and only one cutout on this side. So it goes in that way. Okay, to fully assemble this thing, first thing you want to do is remove these wheels. And these are held by hex screws. This is a 5mm hex wrench that I'm using to remove these screws. Or hex bolts, if you will. Comes off pretty easily. And then this lifts up just like that. Let's take a closer look at these wheels. And you would take it off on this side the same way. Okay, these wheels have now been removed. Let's take a look at the smaller wheel. Take the bolt off. There's a blue cover on the outside. Okay, to remove this blue cover, you would simply push in from the inside, and then this pops right out. There are actually two sets of ball bearings, one on the inside and one on the outside. And the orientation goes like this. So this part that is round and open goes towards the inside, just like this side here. So the round opening here goes towards the inside of the wheel and not this way. And I'm sure that is by design. I'm just going to follow the way that it was put together. There's some ball bearings in there to make this thing rotate like butter. Fidget tool. Okay, this thing is put together the same way. Now, very importantly, this is where the magic happens. So this is the outside of the rear wheel. This is the inside of the rear wheel. You can see gears towards the outer side and also towards the inner side. This is how this thing is able to go forwards and backwards, depending on how the drive gears are engaging either the outside or the inside of this wheel. The rear wheel is where all the action happens, how this thing goes forward and backwards. Anyway, pretty ingenious design. Okay, let's now remove the other side, the wheels on the other side. I'm using a 5mm hex wrench. Kind of loosen it a little bit and it should come right out. If I did this a lot, I guess I would invest in a power hex set. And this thing comes right off just like that. So interestingly, this side is also the same. So you can take this rear drive wheel and flip it onto the other side and will work just fine, in case you need to do that. Okay, now that we have the wheels removed, what we can do is probably remove these things here. These things are held by a rod here, and also these things are held by a rod over here. I think all you have to do is push this through. So push in on this side, and then this thing pops out. Interesting. Spring loaded on this side. And this is slotted right here on this side. So it only goes in this way. And then you just push this in, slide that on, and you're good. Okay, very simple. You can't screw that up. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Push this in, move the rod forward, and this rod comes apart. Well, that was easy. Okay, so we took out the tracks and took out these things. And now all we have are what's here. This assembly is going to be pretty straightforward on these guys. There are 5 screws that you have to remove. The screws are holding on to these pins that are horizontally positioned. So there's a pin here, there's a long pin here, and a short pin here. And I think, yep, there's another one right here. So these screws are holding on to 4 different pins. Let's remove these screws. This is a PH2 or Phillips head number 2 that I'm using. These screws are all the same length and size. And the reason why you want to remove these track wheels first is because to remove these pins, even though there are cutouts right here to allow this punch to go through, you can see how this is conveniently slotted there and there, or cut out. It allows you to push this thing that way. So this long pin will come out, and look at that. There's even a cutout right here to allow this pin to come right out. And this comes out just like that. And this thing comes out this way. You'll notice there's a part that sticks out more on your left or the right side of the TracVac. So this is the orientation that it goes into. Now, these gears, they are numbered. These 2 gears right here, if you look on this side, I think, this side, it's hard to tell, but there's a number 1 there, and this is number 5. So 1, 5, and then this thing you can't miss. This actually is 6. So 1, 5, and 6, it goes in this way. I did not measure the distance of the gears or how many gears there are. I'm just going to remember 1, 5, and 6, and that's how I'm going to put it back together. Okay, so that is that rod and then those gears. Now let's remove these gears. Same thing, you want to push in from, oh, okay, actually, you need a smaller punch. You would push in from this side, and this shaft comes right out. These gears are also numbered. This is number 2, this is number 6, and this is number 1. So 2, 6, and 1. Go figure. I don't know if they're different gear ratios. They look pretty much the same. But anyway, 2, 6, and 1. So gears, remove there and there. Oh, it looks like there's another one down here. There's another rod down here. And another one right here. Okay. So I guess to remove this one, you just pull this out. And let's see. Oh, so this is spring loaded. So I'm going to have to figure out how this thing comes apart after I push this rod out. Like so. So as I push this out, I want to keep tension on this right here because there's a spring in there. I'm going to gently lift this up. Okay, there's a spring that goes up like this vertically. Okay, so there's a spring right there that goes vertically. And there are actually 2 slots, so it's on the outer slot, opening right here, outer opening. Looks like another set of bearings right here. Two sets of bearings. So this comes out this way. This is the shorter end. This is the shorter end of the gears, and this is the longer end of the gears on this side towards the outside. And these have the open sides towards the outside and the slotted sides towards the inside. Okay, they go in, this goes in like that. And this gear comes out that way. Are there numbers? Nope, no numbers, no markings. And then this comes out. And then this comes out like that. This is how the magic happens. So this thing moves up and down, engaging and disengaging this thing right here. And this engages the wheels, the rear wheels. So this engages here, the outside gears, or when it drops down, it engages the inside gear to make it go backwards. This goes forward, this goes backward. So that is how this drive system works. So you got to keep in mind that there's a spring here. Well, I guess you can't put it in here. You can only put it in one position. And when you put this in, make sure this slot goes into that opening on the side. So this thing articulates up and down like that. Oh, pretty interesting. I'm sure this can be further assembled, but currently there are no spare parts lists available on Hayward's website to purchase replacement parts, because this this vac has been out for about a year and no spare parts available. Interesting. So I think you can pry this apart and access these bearings to replace them, and if you need to. So that is that part. And I think this, yep, that comes right out. And there's a rod. I guess to remove this, you just simply pull this shaft out, and then this gear comes out. So that is pretty much it. This thing is completely disassembled. I guess this tab lock is the only thing that I haven't disassembled, but pretty much the whole thing is taken apart. Okay, now let's put it back together. First thing first, let's put this in. Gotta line this up. And then this goes in like that. That goes in there. Let's put this drive shaft back in there. When putting this together, after these are easy, you just pop right in. To put this drive shaft in here, you want to put the spring in here, put in this articulating piece, and then you want to pre-assemble this gear here, and then put in the shaft this way, or else you're not going to have enough room to get this in that. And then you put this in that way. Keep in mind, the longer end goes towards the outside and the shorter end goes towards the inside. There we go. Now we can put this shaft back in. Just like that. So this thing moves up and down. Let's put these gears back in. 2, 6, and 1. Super easy. Just line up the holes with the shaft. The shaft drives right in, and there you go. This side, that goes in that way, and this is number 5. This is number 1. So 1, 5, and then this black thing there. Now, this is being held by this long rod. So I'm going to try to align everything and put everything in that way. So let's try to line things up. And I think the easiest way is to line up the outer one right there, and then this one. So you sequentially thread the opening with this rod, and now you just push it in here, drop this, so make sure the rod is back here, drop this in, and it goes straight through to the other side. You want this side to be flush and this side to stick out a little bit. So that's the way it came, that's the way I'm going to put it back together. Now you have these guys. I don't think it matters which rod goes where. It seems, I think they're both the same length. Let's make sure. Yeah, they're identical. So it doesn't matter if you put one towards the front or the back, they're interchangeable. That makes it easy. Okay. So one side is slotted. This side is slotted. This side is not. This is the spring-loaded side. So let's pick this up. Insert the slotted end like that, right there. The slotted end is there. So if you have it in the correct position, this shaft will not turn. And all you have to do is push in over here, line up the hole over here, and it should pop right in. So that side is in, and let's put it in on the other side. Uh-oh, I forgot to put in, I missed one of the gears. This gear did not pop in correctly. Oh, that's because this thing fell out and then this popped out. Okay, I guess what I can do is secure the shafts with the screws. Now I have it on a very, very low torque setting. So it was on 4 or 5. I don't think it matters. I just secure these screws. You don't want to strip the screws or the plastic. And one more screw that goes right here. Okay, now, these shafts are not going to move around as you rotate this thing around. And let's look at the slotted end. Slotted end is over here on this side. So I'm going to try to do it this way. I'm going to put the slotted in here so this thing won't turn. And then you can just put these in. I guess that might be easier. I don't know. Okay, now you press this spring-loaded end like that, line up the hole there, and it pops right in. Okay, reorient ourselves. This is the front again. And let's get the wheels back on. Super easy. Make sure the tracks are in this slot right there on the wheel, and it should drop right in just like that. And once the holes are aligned, the screw should go right in if the holes are aligned. Let's find our hex driver. You don't have to overly tighten, just a little bit. It's not going to come off. Let's do the other side. $5mm hex driver. Okay. Lastly, the lid and this little hood device goes in only one way. I found the easiest way to put this back together is hook the rear, lift this up to meet the opening up here, and then drop both gently as you move this thing forward. Make sure this is hooked onto the rear latches right here. And then this will latch like that. And now it's back together. I hope this has been helpful. If you're interested in watching more about the TracVac, click on this video over here or watch what YouTube recommends over here. Thank you for watching. And of course, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You know the deal. Thank you for watching.